Jazz music. People think jazz is all about theory and serious faces and playing all the right notes and in the right order and being clever. It's not. Jazz is about having fun. There's no rules in jazz. The greatest jazz musicians in the world learn by having fun, experimenting. There's a few who learn by learning the theory, but you know who they are because they just play lots of fast notes and there's no music there, there's no feeling. So I'm going to show you how to play some jazz today. It's simple. I like to think of it as a conversation when you're playing little solos. Ask a question and answer it. So get something simple going here. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. Then. So, what's your name, Robert B? Would you like a cup of tea? No, I'd rather have a coffee. Yeah! See what I did there? Got my hand in this position, those fingers. I'll show you how to do this in a minute. And just go. It's all on the white notes. It sounds jazzy, doesn't it? Then you can make it cool. Same left hand. Different feel. A few more black notes. It's just messing around and having fun. So let's go on the other keyboard and I'm going to show you. This is how we play jazz. See you in a minute. Yeah. Okay, let's get one thing straight right from the word go. There are no wrong notes. There's no such thing as a wrong note. If you're playing jazz and if it sounds right to you, it's right. If you think, oh, that sounds good, it's right. There's no rules. You don't have to stay in the key or anything like that. So let's just do it, okay? And the secret is to get something really simple going with your left hand and then mess about. Ask questions, answer them. Go for a little run in the park. Go for a flight to the moon. Do whatever you want with your right hand. Go. If you go a little bit off time and off tempo, it's great. You're making music. It's fun. It's fun. So let me show you a quick way to get into doing this. You want to get a rhythm going with your left hand. And I use, for this example today, I'm using two chords. D minor, so D, F and A in the left, and then moving these two fingers, those two fingers, your pointing finger, your index finger and your thumb, moving them up a tone. So to G and B, but keep your little pinky finger on the D. So D to G. So, and we're just going to do that sort of rhythm today. You could do twice as long. And mess around on that. Or you could go. You could go. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's stick to what I said we were going to do. So just get that going. 3, 4, and then ask a little question and then answer it. So what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing. then. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. So do that again. Having fun. Having fun. How easy is this to do? Yes, it is. It's just fun. I got mixed up with the left hand, but it doesn't matter. Back to the right one now. That was using some black notes. Show what I did there. I played those two notes together, G and A flat, or G sharp, and then slid up. Try another black note. So if you're sat near a piano now, go and have a go at this. If the left hand, even if you just played one note, D, got it going, got a rhythm going. It's good for your hand coordination, this as well. And then, that's a question then. That's the answer. And then the answer. I said I'd show you that as well. You get your hand in that position, so that finger, your thumb, your index finger and your little finger, and put them on the keyboard like that. So I'm playing an E, A and a D. It's that interval. And then just go anywhere you want on the white notes. And if you've got this going, listen to this. And then some. Yeah. Mess around. I'll show you one more quick thing that you can do with the left hand. Instead of playing the D minor there, if you play a D minor seventh with 4 fingers, so D, F, A with the C at the top, and then all you have to do for the G is move those 2 fingers, the top 2 fingers, your finger and your thumb, your index finger and your thumb, move it down a tone to give you the G and the B. So you've got D, F, G and B, which is a G seventh. So it goes from a D minor seventh to a G major seventh. And that gives it a little bit of richness. Listen to this. Clusters of notes, clusters, clusters. Then add some black notes. There's no duff notes. And then if you always, at some stage, bring it back to the D in the right hand, it feels like it's come home, and it all suddenly makes sense. And then you can go off somewhere else again. So you can set your controls for the heart of the sun and just go for it. So that is the rebel piano way of making jazz music. And all I'm doing is standing on the shoulders of giants. People like Miles Davis, they play little melodic phrases. They're not sticking in a key or following the scale or just playing arpeggios of chords. Some jazz musicians just play fast scales and fast chords. Some combine the two. They get music going that you can feel, and it's really fast. Oscar Peterson, my God, genius, sheer genius. Prodigious musicians like that. But if you go to a jazz club, you'll sometimes see people just going... It's meaningless. What you've got to do is get some little melodies going. Think of Miles Davis. Oops. Little phrases, little fun musical phrases. So that's the rebel piano method of making jazz. If you've enjoyed this lesson, you can download my little booklet, 5 compelling reasons to play the piano. I know that's back to front on that picture. It's a free download, and it gives you lots of really good reasons why the piano's so good for your mind, keeping you sharp, keeping you healthy, keeping your hands going, and giving you a mood boost. So, love your piano. Lovely to talk to you today. Get playing that piano, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.